What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. I've never challenged EA Sports. I really have never came out and just straight issued a challenge, but today is the day. It's a different kind of video, guys, because I've been watching very carefully how the NFL and Madden are handling the Pro Bowl. And I watched this interview with Peter O'Reilly, and I'm okay with people not being gamers. I understand that not everyone plays Madden 21. I don't, for example. I don't need to play this game. I understand that not everyone is familiar with all the flaws this game has. There's a catalog of them on my channel if you need to educate yourself at how poor this game is. But when I watch Peter O'Reilly, and he talks about skill challenges within Madden, right, taking two elite receivers and pitting them against each other to see who is the best receiver, I understand right away that he has no concept of how this game works. Because he feels, in stating this, Madden is some type of skill-based game, that Madden is able to replicate players properly. But anyone that plays this game for 5 years or 5 minutes knows that the game is simply just setting animations in motion. And as I've continued to learn about how the NFL, Madden, and the Pro Bowl will combine this year, I can't help but reflect that a couple years ago, EA was actually selling us this game. They were selling and marketing the game with the Pro Bowl. And yet here we are in a very different world, where the Pro Bowl needs to be handled digitally. And for some reason, the actual game will not be broadcast as it normally would. Why is that? That's the challenge I have to you. Anyone that works in that building on this game, that's the challenge I have. I want to understand. I don't understand. Why are you incapable of seemingly playing a full 60-minute game with your NFL simulator? Why can't you broadcast from quarter 1 to quarter 4 a full complete game? Because we know the game lacks proper depth for a pregame show and a halftime show, which is okay. You failed on those levels to execute many times. We know the game does not replicate football players correctly as far as intelligence or elite athletes or chemistry. We understand that it can't handle proper substitutions or assignments. But these are all things you should have considered before you sold us a simulation football game, before you continued to project to us that this game was simulation football, and you signed agreements, in fact, to ensure that you were the only one that could create such a product. And yet now, when it's time to showcase that game, seemingly EA wants to do everything but that. Why is that, Clint? Why is that? After you, as a former player, have worked on a game for years, can you tell anyone in this community why your game is incapable of being shown to replicate the sport that you sell to your community as replicating? Because I have a feeling none of us understand that. But we know it's a lot deeper than just not being able to simulate football. Your game doesn't actually follow or understand all the structure or rules of the NFL. Your game fails on every single level. In some cases worse, in some cases not as bad, but on every single level of replicating football. And the reason now that it can't be used is because the commentary is awful. The cutscenes can't be trusted. The game logic can't be shown. Because you know, at your core, this game can't be played for 5 minutes and something not be shown that is completely otherworldly. You can't risk that. And here's the interesting thing to me, right? Here's how I really know that you guys must not have any faith in your product. If you wanted to, you could pay hundreds of people, thousands of people. You could give them a roster. You could give them a console. And you could say, listen, we want you to simulate this Pro Bowl game, and we want you to record it. And then you could pay just as many people to sit there and watch every single game. And you could have them sit in the room and you could say, we need a Pro Bowl that is flawless. We have thousands of games to choose from, and we need to pick the one game that makes this game look world-class, just like you do those trailers, right? Remember those trailers every single year that you CGI with us? Remember those visuals you create to make your game look better than it is? And then you sell us a product that isn't that? Well, now we understand when it comes down to actually showing us a full game that you can't do that. Even though you have all the resources to do it. You literally could pay someone to create the perfect Pro Bowl game to showcase Madden 21 in the most positive light ever. Showcase it in a way that would end a channel like mine. That's the challenge. But we both know, all of us know, your whole community knows, everyone in this community understands the fact that this game is so broken, is so bad, is fundamentally flawed on so many levels, has actually refused to be fixed for such a long period of time, that the concept of it actually replicating a complete NFL game is absurd, if not improbable. The trust that EA has in their product is almost non-existent. When I do a video a couple days ago where I talk about them bringing SpongeBob into the game, I don't mind those extras. I don't mind that cross-promotion. But what I do mind is when you have an entire community that is creating lists to help you understand what we want, and none of them have SpongeBob on it, you find time for someone else and not for the people that support your product. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking out, and you know I will be back in the week with more commentary.